Do you think AI has what it takes to travel smart? Today, I asked ChatGPT to give me its top 10 travel must-haves. And in today's video, I'm going to tell you what those top 10 AI travel must-haves are and whether or not they're actually essential for you to have on your next trip. When I asked ChatGPT to give me its top 10 travel must-haves, here's exactly what I said in the prompt. Give me a list of your top 10 travel must-haves that include a mix of traditional travel must-haves and unique under-the-radar travel must-haves that are helpful and worth buying. I made sure to ask for under the radar unique travel must-haves too, so that it didn't just give me your basic like neck pillow and the headphones. I wanted to spice things up and really put ChatGPT to the test here and push AI's limits a little more. So here's exactly what ChatGPT said. But before we get into the video, I have a quick announcement. We are so close to 10,000 subscribers. Thank you so much for those of you who have already subscribed. Once we hit 10,000, I am planning a huge travel essential giveaway where I'm giving away my favorite luggage pieces, my favorite essentials that I mentioned in a lot of my videos that I travel with on every trip. So definitely subscribe if you're not already subscribed and turn on those post notifications so that you don't miss the giveaway. I don't want you to miss it. I'm really excited for someone to win all of this gear that I literally have in this closet behind me. Now let's get into the video. Number 1, a quality carry-on backpack. A durable, well-organized backpack, for example, 30 to 40 liters, that fits airline carry-on limits and keeps everything accessible in flight, on trains, or on day trips. And here's my response. Instead of using a backpack as a carry-on, I actually usually recommend and use myself as a personal item, because as long as the backpack fits underneath the seat in front of you in the plane, more often than not, obviously not all cases, some airlines and travel destinations specifically have different and more strict rules when it comes to this, but more often than not, if it fits underneath the airplane seat in front of you, it can count as a personal item. And when you use a backpack as a personal item, you are able to pack an additional suitcase as your carry-on and way more easily pack carry-on only. I have a couple backpacks in particular that I usually reach for when it comes to my personal item. First is this travel backpack that I mentioned and packed in my personal item only packing video actually. And what I like about this one is that it opens all the way and has compression straps like a suitcase, so you're able to fill this with clothes really easily and pack a lot more when you're packing carry-on only or personal item only. So that's one backpack option that I reached for. And then the other backpack that I usually opt for my personal item is my camera backpack. This is a very, very large camera gear backpack. I have a lot of gear that I travel with as a blogger, and this one is very large, but I have never had an issue fitting it under the seat in front of me when I needed to. So if you're looking for a large camera gear backpack that you can usually use as a personal item, again, this would not slide with all airlines and destinations, but in the US, it definitely does. And I found that more often than not, I am able to use this as a personal item. Just disclaimer, obviously check with your airline and destination first. But if you're looking for a large camera gear backpack, I really like this one. Number 2 is a universal travel adapter with USB and USB-C ports. ChatGPT said, a compact adapter that works in multiple regions plus USB-A or USB-C charging, so you don't need to pack extra chargers for phones, earbuds, or cameras. I mostly agree with this AI travel must-have. When you're traveling internationally, purchasing a universal travel adapter that fits multiple regions, multiple countries throughout the world can definitely save you money in the long run, as opposed to getting single destination outlet adapters for every destination that you go to. If you just buy one universal instead of one like this, that's just a single region adapter, you can save money in the long run if you plan on traveling internationally a lot. I also love that ChatGPT mentions one that has USB-A and USB-C charging ports, because like it said, this will make charging multiple electronics at the same time in your one hotel room outlet a lot easier. You won't have to swap out electronics and charge it while you're charging them in the hotel because you only have one adapter and have multiple electronics to charge. But I do want to clarify one thing. ChatGPT worded this by saying that you won't have to bring extra chargers for multiple electronics like your camera, earbuds, or phones. But to clarify, you will still need to bring the charging cords. So make sure you have the correct cords for all of your electronics whether they have USB-A, USB-C ports, or a lightning port. Make sure you have all the right cords and that they have the correct ends to plug into your adapter as well. So I just wanted to clarify that one thing that AI did not. Number 3 are comfortable noise canceling earbuds or headphones. ChatGPT said that they block cabin and hostile noise and improve focus on music, podcast, or language learning. Great for flights and noisy accommodations. Comfortable noise canceling headphones are definitely an essential for me when I'm traveling, especially when I'm traveling by plane. Being able to block out all of the loud engine noises in the plane really makes your flight experience so much better, because not only are you blocking out the loud engine noises and chatty passengers and crying babies, but because you're blocking all of that background noise, you can also hear your music or your TV show or your podcast that you're listening to through your headphones so much easier. And that way you don't have to turn up the volume on your headphones in order to hear it over the loud background noise, if that makes sense. I love my Apple AirPods Max. The Bose QC35s are also a great option. They're a little bit cheaper than the AirPods Max. These are very expensive. Although headphones can be pretty heavy, especially on long haul flights. Having that extra weight on your neck when you're already crunched in the economy back seat, I noticed that it does put tension on my shoulders a little bit more after a long period of time. So I am also very curious about trying the new Apple AirPods Pro 3 earbuds with live translation, because not only are they way less bulky and more packable because they're earbuds, B, they're also noise canceling, so you still get the nice noise canceling feature that larger headphones provide, and C, they also now have a live translation feature, which could be really cool to test out when you're traveling internationally and are experiencing a language barrier. Now, to play devil's advocate, I can't say I've ever heard of anyone specifically recommending noise canceling headphones for the sole purpose of language learning like ChatGPT suggested, but that's not to say you couldn't, I guess. Number 4 is a set of 3 to 5 packing cubes. Here's what ChatGPT said. Traditional but indispensable, keeps clothes organized, compresses volume, and makes it easy to find what you need without unpacking everything. I love packing cubes. I use packing cubes on every single trip that I go on, in combination with my day-by-day packing list that I swear by to pack both light and efficiently, quickly. I love packing cubes and my day-by-day packing list to do just that. I would say on average for most like week-long trips, I use 4 packing cubes. Usually I use 2 larger packing cubes for longer trips to pack my outfits, as well as 2 smaller packing cubes to pack like socks, underwear, pajamas, swimsuits, etc. All of those smaller clothing articles. I also use a laundry bag to pack dirty shoes if I'm packing shoes in my suitcase. And my husband also has a set of packing cubes that he uses for every trip. So for this reason, we have probably at least 10 to 15 packing cubes in our house that we use regularly between the 2 of us. So I would think at least 5 packing cubes is probably a good number per person. I think that's probably ideal. Sometimes the zippers rip, or sometimes you pack it too full or it gets dirty or whatever. It's nice to have extras instead of not enough. Do you need to go out and buy more packing cubes if you have 3 packing cubes and that's enough for you? Absolutely not. But if you are just starting to look into buying packing cubes, I would maybe recommend at least a set of 4 or 5 instead of the 3 that ChatGPT recommended. By the way, I will link all of the exact products that I'm talking about in today's video in the description. Number 5 is a travel laundry kit, which I was actually a little bit surprised that ChatGPT recommended, but I'm not totally mad about it. Here's what ChatGPT said. A small bottle of concentrated detergent, a portable clothesline, and a few sink laundry tools let you wash basics on the go. Perfect for long trips or light packing. I often have to do laundry on longer trips because I usually pack carry-on only, so I am definitely pro doing laundry on the go and being prepared to do laundry in your hotel room if you don't have access to a washer and dryer. However, I arguably have a couple even better alternatives to make your carry-on only packing situation a lot easier. First, I actually recommend packing laundry powder instead of a liquid travel size laundry detergent because it won't take up your precious liquid space when you're traveling carry-on only. I, in particular, use Molly Suds laundry powder. As you can see, it's just like a powder because it then doesn't count towards my liquid allowance space. It's also non-toxic, which I really, really like. ChatGPT also mentioned a portable clothesline, which I think would be really, really nice. I've never actually bought one or used one, so I can't say like from personal experience whether or not it's actually worth the money, but I would imagine that it would be nice, especially if you're going to a beach destination, have a lot of swimsuits that you're gonna wanna be drying, or if you're going on a longer winter trip and are gonna be washing a lot of larger clothing articles in your hotel room, I would imagine that would be really nice. However, I've managed to make do with just hanging up my clothes around the hotel room. This has made a mess in my hotel room a couple times. I'll see if I have a clip of us doing laundry during our little European summer month trip a couple years ago. We had laundry literally everywhere. We hung it obviously on the hangers in the closet, but also on like the hotel room furniture and the lamps and the windows. Definitely wasn't ideal, but we made do. You make do when you have to. And lastly, in terms of laundry tools, as ChatGPT called them, I swear by our Scrubba portable laundry machine. Scrubba gifted this to me a couple years ago and we've used it multiple times, and you would be shocked, stunned at the dirt that comes off your clothes when you use this portable washing machine in your hotel room. All we do, we put our clothes in the portable washing machine bag, fill it up in the hotel room shower, shake it for a little bit, and wring out the clothes as much as we can before we hang them up, and it works great. The bag has a little like washboard back to it to help aggravate your clothes and clean them a little bit deeper. And it also packs pretty flat too, so it doesn't take up much additional space in your luggage. Number 6 is an under the radar travel essential that I've personally never even heard of before doing this video, and that's a compact UV light sanitizer wand. ChatGPT says under the radar tool for quickly disinfecting hotel remotes, tray tables, door handles, or shared gear, and adds a layer of hygiene, especially in high traffic areas. As a certified germaphobe, cough cough, a traveler with actually diagnosed OCD, the sound of traveling with a sanitizing wand sounds great. When they first said this, I was like, wait a second, I need this in my life. But I did a little really quick research on it, and I, believe it or not, don't think that it's worthwhile because, first of all, the wand needs to emit UVC light specifically, not UV light, which is what a lot of the cheaper wands might emit. And second of all, the US FDA, the Food and Drug Administration, actually warns against these wands, saying that some actually emit harmful levels of UV radiation. So I think that I would personally skip this AI travel essential. 7's another interesting one, and that is portable offline navigation and phrase cards. ChatGPT said, a small booklet of key phrases plus offline GPS app/maps on your phone keeps you oriented and communicating even without service. I'm slightly confused about how AI like paired these two together. They seem like two distinct different travel must-haves to me because they serve different purposes. I can see where AI is going with like combining them in terms of not having service, but they seem a little bit different. So that's kind of funny, AI quirky to me. That being said, portable offline navigation is essential, especially if you're traveling in the backcountry, if you're hiking. And for this, I would recommend the offline paid subscription version of AllTrails plus a Garmin InReach Mini like this one. We have the Garmin InReach Mini 2. When navigating transportation in foreign cities, I definitely think it's worthwhile buying an eSIM card so that you have mobile internet access, even when you're outside of Wi-Fi in other countries. I've used the Airlo eSIM without any problems, and they're super affordable. The eSIMs are really affordable and worth it in my opinion. As for phrase cards, I personally think that they're a pretty outdated travel must-have in my opinion, because especially if you're traveling with an eSIM, you have Google Translate right at your fingertips to help with language barrier. And I suppose they could be helpful if I was like traveling somewhere where I was really concerned about having internet access and having a language barrier problem. But even for those trips, I'd probably rather just take the time, like take an hour before my trip to learn those key phrases and memorize those key phrases so that I don't have to use up luggage space for physical language cards. That's just my thought. Number 8 is a mini first aid kit and repair kit. ChatGPT says, a slim kit with blister plasters, pain relievers, scissors, safety pins, and a few sewing needles, plus a multi-tool sewing patch or duct tape snippets for quick gear fixes. I do like traveling with a mini first aid kit, particularly for hiking trips. I'd never go on a hiking trip without my mini first aid kit because you never know what's gonna happen on the trails and when you'll need some first aid. However, if you are flying carry-on only, remember to take out the scissors and anything sharp from the first aid kit if it comes with it, because otherwise TSA will most likely confiscate it. So remember to take out those sharp objects. I disagree with ChatGPT there when it says that scissors are essential. Obviously, they can be helpful, and if you're checking your bag, you won't have to worry about that. But if you're traveling carry-on only, take that scissors out. A repair kit might also be necessary depending on the type of trip you're taking. Like if you're taking a super important business trip, then sure, maybe a little travel sewing kit might come in handy. You might want to bring it. Or if you're taking a huge road trip, a tire repair kit would probably be a smart thing to have. Or like ChatGPT said, duct tape. If you're going backpacking and think you might need a backpack repair kit, that can be something to consider. Do I usually travel with a repair kit? No, I really only have when I've been on those long road trips and I have like tire patching kit with me. But other than that, I really usually don't need a repair kit on my trips. The one I only regularly travel with is my mini first aid kit. An ultralight travel blanket or scarf. ChatGPT says, dual purpose, warm on flight, a picnic spread, sunshade, or modesty cover in places of worship. Much more versatile than a heavy blanket. When I have the luggage space, I definitely do like traveling with a lightweight blanket. Key phrase, if I have the luggage and personal item space. A scarf is definitely necessary in places where it's hot, like in Europe in the summertime where it's really hot. You don't want to be wearing sleeves out and about, but you want to go into places of worship that do require your shoulders to be covered. A scarf can definitely be helpful in those situations. But you will probably know whether or not you actually need shoulder covering, before you go to that destination when you're doing your trip research before your trip. And I do love having an extra blanket on flights, but again, this is if I have the space. That is the last thing that I pack because it takes up a lot of space and isn't totally essential. It is a nice luxury item to have though. And number 10 is a portable power bank with high output. ChatGPT says, a high capacity power bank that can fast charge phones and tablets and ideally support pass-through charging so that you can power devices while refilling the bank itself. This AI travel must-have gets my stamp of approval. A fast charging power bank like one that I'll link in the description is definitely helpful on trips, and I didn't even realize that pass-through charging was a thing that some power banks don't have, but it's definitely a good perk because when you're charging, especially when you're traveling internationally and have one outlet adapter to use, you can charge your power bank and also charge your electronics from your power bank that's plugged in to the outlet and outlet adapter. That is super helpful when you're charging and traveling with multiple electronics like camera, phone, camera batteries, laptop, headphones, you name it. So I really like that ChatGPT mentioned that. I, however, personally just have a very cheap 2-pack of portable chargers, power banks from Amazon, and they get the job done for me. And that is it, 10 AI travel must-haves. What do you think? Do you think all 10 of these are essential? Let me know in the comments. And like I mentioned earlier, I will link all of the products that I personally use and recommend in the description. Other than that, I will see you in the next video. So for now, ciao.